Hey guys, join me in packing some eBay and Poshmark sales that I had recently. On this particular day, it was a slow day. I have not had as many sales as I would like, but to be honest with you, I don't have a lot of items listed on the platforms like eBay and Mercari and Depop and Poshmark. But I have I think close to like 380 total items. So I think it's just because I tend to stick to like women's clothing and shoes that it takes a little longer to sell. So I'm definitely changing my sourcing strategies and the types of things that I'm sourcing. On this day, I had 4 sales, not as many as I would like, of course, but I'll take 4 sales over no sales. So this was a Legos that sold on Poshmark. Legos figures, I believe they were soldiers, and they were priority mail. This particular poly envelope can be found on USPS.com. So shipping can be very tricky when you first start reselling, and I made the mistake of using the wrong mailing box, I believe, with the wrong shipping service. So I think I used like a flat rate mailing box with just the regular priority mail shipping service, and that was a costly mistake. So definitely lowered my profit for that item, and yeah, I definitely took a little bit of a hit when I did that. So definitely check your packaging material if you are mailing priority mail or flat rate or whatever other shipping service you're using through USPS. I haven't had that issue with UPS or FedEx because it's a little more straightforward, but I don't typically use a lot of different shipping services. I stick to UPS ground or USPS ground. So some of the clothing items that I have, I will technically wash them, or I'll kind of like put them in the dryer and use some dryer sheets. So there's a bit of a debate about not using fabric refreshers or dryer sheets. Carcinogens, and the smell is too strong, but I definitely feel like it would be worse to send something out that smells musty, because my items sit in the basement. I know some people use an attic or garage, and although they're in a plastic container, I do worry that they could have a potential smell, and my smellers are kind of off sometimes, so I just add very little bit of like fabric refresher to certain items, not all the time. In this case, I wrapped this up with packing paper. I put it in a bag and then put it in my own poly mailer. And what you see is that I'm adding my own sticker here that I got customized through Amazon. You can upload a logo and add whatever text you want, and they sell it. I think it starts off at like a 40, you can get 60, 100. So it's definitely something worth getting if you're going to get into reselling, just so that people start learning your logo and your brand and the name of your store. These Crocs sold on Poshmark. I think they sold for like 24 on offer. I really didn't want to let them go at 24. I think I should have waited a little longer. However, like I said, I've been having a slow time with sales, and I'm just kind of revamping my store and changing titles around and just working with whatever's going on right now, because sales are up and down, and I'm hoping now that it's getting close to fall, as I increase the amount of listings that I have and change some of my inventory, that I can increase those sales. Definitely did run a sale recently and a discount on eBay that did kind of jumpstart my sales. However, that might not work for you, and you just have to kind of find your niche, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm trying to figure out what exactly I would like to sell. So far, I love selling shoes. They're just a little easier to photograph. And if you can get your hands on like items for kitchen stuff, you know, home items, I feel like it's a little bit better with like pictures, because clothes is just, it's just time consuming. So that's my little sticker, and I'm like making sure it's in the right spot, not covering anything. I'm honestly not even sure if that's allowed, but I put it there. So this French press, super cute. Found it, I think, for $3 or something like that. I originally was going to use this box, but I realized once I wrapped this baby up in bubble wrap, this box wasn't going to do it. Any of these fragile items, you definitely have to bubble wrap or styrofoam, and just make sure you have it super cushioned. Like whatever material you can use. I recycle a lot, and I'm sure a lot of other resellers recycle a lot of their packaging materials or boxes that they get from their own orders. Definitely save boxes. It will come in handy. Unfortunately, it does take up space. I do have a room in my basement dedicated to my inventory and to my packaging materials. So I don't know if you could see it in this video, but I do have a lot of little things and tools mostly that I use for prepping items and for packaging. And that's definitely something that you're gonna need if you start reselling, or if you're new to reselling. You gotta kind of go on Amazon or one of these online stores and just get the things that you need. You need the tape gun, you're gonna need poly mailers, you're gonna need packing paper, and a lot of the other things like these boxes you can acquire on your own. Maybe there's just like a local supermarket that you can ask someone. I'm sure there's friends and family that probably get a lot of Amazon orders, and you can definitely ask them to put some aside for you and just try to find a space to keep them. And that way you don't have to pay for boxes, because they're actually pretty expensive if you have to purchase them at Home Depot. Only thing you have to make sure is you take off all the shipping label and stickers, whatever was on there previously, like I'm doing here. I end up taking the tape off of this box because it did say something on there, which I think was the actual company that the tape is the actual manufacturer of the tape. In most cases, if I use an Amazon box and it has that Amazon tape on it, I don't actually take it off. So yeah, it takes me a minute, and I think because this was the first time I've recorded myself packing, I kind of went slower. I don't know, I just feel like I didn't have energy at this point. The protein shake wasn't doing it for me. However, I was thankful that it was actually just 4 packages for things that had sold, because sometimes when it's a lot, it is time consuming, and I'm dealing with my toddler, and it can be a lot some days, but I will take it over no sales. So here I'm just reinforcing it with some foam that I saved. Recycle and reuse, right? So with this particular package, I was a little worried that I was going to crush this glass with all this extra cushioning materials. But I went ahead and added more cushion just because I was very paranoid that this thing is going to be tossed around like a football. I've worked for UPS briefly when I was very young, and I worked at Amazon as well. And I've seen how packages get treated, and it's not all bad, but in some cases, it's just better to be safe than sorry. So yeah, this is how packing sales went. actually much quicker if I'm not recording, but just make sure the shipping label is right. You're using the correct packaging when it comes to USPS shipping services, because that can be an issue for most new resellers. And like I said, most of these packaging materials you can find on Amazon. Yeah, so thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.